So somebody on Facebook posted the poll that said 26% of conservatives don't support gay marriage. And I said, it doesn't surprise me. I'm sure it's the same number in the NDP because union people, I know a lot of union people and they're rednecks, and the liberals the same way. They're all, they're smiling in your face, but, stabbing you in the back. And so I don't think that 26% is unreasonable. Any party, given the fact, especially with senior citizens and people in their 80s, they're stuck in the dark ages. So as far as, how they feel about gays, a lot of them think that it's just the way they are. So it's not surprising to me. And but some of these other ones I don't understand. Like, okay, so I'm giving you Martin Sheen, and basically what he's saying in his speech to uh, people from the Bible Belt is that they they use the Bible to justify a lot of their things, but primarily what I'm talking about is the homophobia, and they ignore everything else that's in the Bible that talks about all kinds of things. And if you listen to Martin Sheen's speech, he goes through it one by one, things that somebody who's following the Christian Bible commonly ignores. And these are things like Leviticus. So I think it's highly relevant because it gets to the root of the character of Andrew Scheer. If Andrew Scheer is programmed by his Bible-thumping church, I don't want him as the Prime Minister of Canada. I don't want him as a world leader. I want somebody who is willing to listen to what Martin Sheen said and realize that he's being hypocritical if he's calling out gays for wanting to get married. And that's what he's doing, even though he's saying, well, the party doesn't want it. But everyone knows that once a prime minister is in power, what they do privately, in the day-to-day workings of the government, well, he's a homophobe. He's a homophobe. There's no two ways about it. If that's the way he feels, he doesn't give a rat's ass about human rights. He's saying that he's got his religious views that he's promulgating that are anti-gay. I'm sorry, you can say, well, it's written down in the laws of the land that this is this and that, but I personally feel like they shouldn't be able to get married. You're a homophobe. And the reason he gives is that he's a religious fundamentalist. So it's totally relevant. Now, as far as this other thing you gave me about the Christians slaughtered during Easter worship and the killings of Muslims in New Zealand, if I was a lawyer, I would say to you, Herman, relevance. What is the relevance of that when we're talking about homophobic person who wants to become prime minister? I don't see any linkage between that and what is the linkage? I'm totally flabbergasted. I don't get you here. This is non sequitur to me. It doesn't connect at all. So what else have you got in here? And then you say they're not real issues. So you're saying that what's not a real issue? This goes to the person's character, Andrew Scheer's character. He's a homophobe, and it's religious based. So it is something that he has not personally considered. It is something that he was brought up in his household. I know these religious people. I'm one of them. I was brought up in a religious household. I know what it's like to go to a church that hates homosexuals. I went there when I was a child. I know all about this. And I know all about the guilt that it engenders in people. But you listen to that Martin Sheen speech, and he addresses these things. So my whole point of this is that if you can get this to Andrew Scheer, you can maybe get through his cultural filters. I don't know if you can, but what's he going to say? Is he going to go and throw this, slaughter of Christians or something? It's got nothing to do with this. Nothing. It's a real issue.